This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we turn to the Celtics. All-Star break coming up. They've played over half their games. Getting the win earlier this week against the Cavs. Nice win. But there's still some doubt starting to creep up if the Celtics can do much or if they can keep Kyrie Irving. Obviously, the Anthony Davis talk is heating up. We'll get to that in a little bit. But what do you make of this whole thing with Kyrie? First, he said he wanted to stay in Boston his whole career. Now he's kind of backtracked, and now it looks like he could be gone. Maybe the Knicks are clearing space with the Porzingis trade.
Right.
Lots going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if Kevin Durant leaves the Warriors and goes to the Knicks, I wouldn't blame Kyrie Irving for leaving Boston. And you know, if you're Kyrie Irving going to the Celtics early on, you know, in that basically the Celtics had him for 2 years, right? This is his second year.
Yeah.
If I'm coming to Boston, I'm saying I want to stay in Boston. What player wouldn't say that, right? So, you know, I don't blame Kyrie for kind of going back on his word. Maybe I wouldn't have said anything.
Right.
I would have kind of kept what my plans are under wraps. But I really think Kyrie's going to leave once he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's going to open up some things. And, you know, with Anthony Davis, right?
Right.
He's either going to the Lakers or the Celtics, I feel.
Seems like it,
And we'll see what the Pelicans decide to do, right?
Right, and the trade deadline coming up later this week, actually on Thursday, so we'll see if they're going to trade him. But if the Celtics do lose Irving in free agency, so they seem to have built this up. Like you said, they got Irving, they had Horford, they drafted Tatum, Brown along the way, then they get Hayward. Of course, the injury was unfortunate. Nobody could have foreseen what happened.
Right.
It's nobody's fault what's happened to the Celtics team, but if they lose Irving, these last 5 years kind of seem like a waste. I mean, this was their big crescendo, and they're going to whimper out, maybe not even making the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the way Danny Ainge traded the big three to get assets for the future, and the stuff they gave up to the Cavaliers to get Kyrie Irving, they kind of went all in.
Right.
Right? And in the NBA, it's kind of, you know, you have players go to free agency, but then you hope you can re-sign them. That happens a lot in the NBA. You have a player who hits free agency and you can re-sign them. It's more in other sports. So they were kind of hoping that with Kyrie, right?
Right.
They were hoping he would get, you know, used to the city, used to the team, but we've kind of seen them butt heads at times. Kyrie's had some arguments with Brad Stevens at times this season. It's kind of the first year Brad Stevens, maybe his leadership kind of corralling a superstar player along with younger guys, how that's all meshing together. But, I mean, recently you look at the Celtics, they've kind of turned a corner. So, hey, if the Celtics go on a run here, and if they make it, you know, to the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe even to the Finals, and they give the Warriors a good run, maybe that changes some minds. Maybe Kyrie thinks differently. Maybe he thinks the team is kind of built in a way in the future. And maybe if even, like I said, if Durant leaves the Warriors, maybe that changes the landscape a little bit. And if he doesn't go to the Knicks, maybe Kyrie then thinks the Celtics are the best chance, the best team to win a championship. So, I mean, it's kind of up in the air with Kyrie. I really don't know.
Right, nothing's been decided yet, obviously, and a lot can be decided with how the Celtics play in the next couple of months. So with that being said, if those things happen, can Hayward, Tatum, and Brown lead the Celtics team, or do they need a superstar like an Anthony Davis? And what percentage chance would they get an Anthony Davis without having a big asset to trade it? Because they're going to have to trade Tatum or Brown to get Davis, right? Yeah,
you're going to have to give up definitely Tatum at least, maybe even Rozier, Brown as well, first-round pick.
Right.
You're going to have to give up a ton to get Davis. I heard the Pelicans right now are asking the Lakers for just too much. They're asking them for everything that system has. So the Celtics, absolutely you have to give up Tatum. And that one's going to sting because I think Tatum, maybe in a year, he could be a top 15 NBA player. I really think so.
So that's big. That's the biggest thing. They're going to lose Kyrie Irving, but do they want to go back all in with Anthony Davis, who would only have 1 year left on his contract? Or do they say, hey, we've got Hayward. He'll be under contract. He's had a full year from the recovery. We've got Tatum. Brown is showing signs. He struggles sometimes, but he's showing signs of being good. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, this Celtics team, they've got a lot of questions, and like I said, it's not their fault. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just the way the chips have fallen, and they could be in a little bit of trouble. So we'll see what happens the rest of the year and then in the offseason. We'll take a break. When we come back, talk some Red Sox. Spring training underway in just under 1 week. Truck's already down in Florida, so we'll talk about Red Sox plus the Salt Hill Pub picks of the week. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.